Hey guys, my name is Nexus, and this is The Gambling Man, made January 13th, 2001, by Rayner, the Bug Cloud. It's a little bit confusing to navigate at first, but it's not too terrible. This is just kind of one of those missions that kind of fades into the background. So with all that in mind, on to the mission. Okay guys, here's normal, normal, and normal. Okay, so we work for the Downwinders. Everything is extremely dark right now, and I have no idea why. Alright then. So we need to kidnap Mr. Lazarius. We need to get a piddly amount of loot. Wow. Alright then. We gotta steal the Horn of Quintus, and we gotta exit from the mansion. I keep accidentally pressing escape. Yeah. Very interesting how dark it is. Seems kind of weird, actually. That's okay. Probably just means that the darkness... It's weird because it's not completely dark. I think because we're in Thief 2. Whereas in Thief 1, if you put the, the darkness all the way to the right, you would end up with a complete mess of pretty much
This looks like the way in.
Thanks, Garrett. A complete mess of not being able to see anything in Thief 2. It just looks very dark. It doesn't actually, looks weird because I'm not used to it, but it's not as weird as it could be. Essentially, is what I'm saying. This might be Mr. Lazarius. Perhaps it is? Doesn't say. Alright. So, unluckily for us, we're never going to know who Mr. Lazarius is until we bring his body to the exit. That's my favorite type of mission. So he could be Mr. Lazarius, but he probably isn't. And I only say that because we found him so quickly, and, well, that's kind of unusual. I should probably actually check behind here. Okay, so Mr. Lazarius has some gambling debts with the Downwinders, and I don't think that we're Garrett right now. I think we're just some Downwinder scum. It's probably the case, but you never know. On the one hand, I like the architecture. On the other hand, this just is very... hello? I thought this was a person. But, yeah, on the other hand, this is just kind of very overly large and quite empty. Alright. Didn't want any noise there, but alright then.
Boy, this place is getting to me.
Yes, it is. Nothing there. I don't believe I can go in. So there is someone in here. Okay. Probably just the sir checking up on things. I have no lockpicks. How is this possible? Alright. So we're in for a key hunt, just automatically.
Sound like rats.
By virtue of the fact that we have no lockpicks, it's going to be a key hunt. Oh, that's lights. Don't want lights. No idea where that robot is. Well, hopefully this key will open up nearly everything. On the one hand, having lockpicks really doesn't matter because it's just a matter of wasting your time, essentially, but on the other hand, it is kind of one of those key things. Doesn't smell like old meat. You smell like old meat.
Thought I saw something.
So, unlabeled keys are always interesting. This is the armory, I suppose. Very small art. What the heck? Huh. That's definitely unusual. Most buildings don't have skylights, especially not these days. It's kind of dangerous, to be quite honest. I really don't understand why people are okay with, skylights above their bed, because I would be constantly terrified that the light, that something would hit the glass and break it down onto me when I'm sleeping. Like even a hailstorm could do that if it was sufficiently large enough. It scares the crap out of me. Okay. So far I'm liking this actual building. I don't know where that robot is, and I don't really care right now. Why? This seems like an obvious trap, but, sure. Okay, well, in that case, I have no idea why that's there. I have no water arrows. Alright then. So, everything I do... Oh, alright then.
Just the wind, I guess.
It's not the wind, Benny. It's just your friendly neighborhood thief. Alright then. You can only hear and not see, so I'm not too terribly worried. Huh. Blue spot? It feels like I'm nitpicking. I'm really not trying to. It's kind of just not really much to say. Your experiment has failed, Doctor. Not openable. Okay. There's not really much to this, I suppose. We're just trying to find one person. And, well, this is a really large building to try and find one person in. And the next problem comes from the fact that, there's really no way of knowing what he looks like. It's not like we got a picture or anything. Okay, nothing there. There's 2 guards here.
You see anything just then?
Nope.
Did you see anything?
You guys didn't see anything. I'm too awesome for that. Alright, looks like there's somebody up in that window. Which means there could be people up in the other windows. Somebody saw.
Nothing there now.
Nothing there now. Who said that? It's gotta be the dude up there then. Okay, so I can't even sneak over this actually.
Who's there? What noise dost make?
No. I don't want to get caught. Dang it.
Thou art revealed, foe. Defend thy...
Whoops, I got caught. It wasn't by the robot though. It was by a priest. So I'm gonna go up this way instead. There's 2 guys over there. They entrance to a cathedral, blah blah blah. Priest kind of caught me because it was metal, and metal is loud, and unfortunately it was on an incline just steep enough that I couldn't actually, yeah, right here actually. See, the metal right there is just steep enough that you can't crawl over it. You can only crouch walk over it. You can't crawl. Right? I have no idea where I'm going now, just kind of going in every direction at once. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see what this is. It's like I'm in some kind of boiler. This seems awfully unsafe. Alright. Not sure what the point of that was. Might have been a ring down in the water or something. Ooh. Found the gambling room. Okay, so maybe I can get out of here with the amount... I've almost got the amount of loot I need, actually. It's awfully quick. Why is the requirement so low? That's what's, you know, really curious to me, is if you're going to have a loot count, you know, be so low, I don't really understand. I hear... I'm not... Okay, I hear snoring. I thought it was, something else. Don't mind me. Okay, nothing there.
Who was that there? I saw something.
No, you didn't.
Boy, this place is getting...
You didn't see anything. Also, I stole your food. Sorry about that. Stairs are a bit big, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure there's a stair tool now. I've never been able to get it to work, though. Not sure how that's supposed to work. I think it's just something that doesn't work in some cases. Maybe it's because I just tried to get it to do something it's not supposed to do. Oh, okay. Well... Okay, so now that I see that there is actually quite a bit more loot in this mission, why is the loot goal so low? Is it because it's meant to be secondary? Is it just because of some arbitrary reason of which I am unaware? I mean, I'm actually genuinely curious about that kind of thing. I actually really like to know, like, why make the loot count so, you know, the goal, not the count, sorry. Alright then. Knocking out everybody, because it's what I do best. It also lets me run around unimpeded without having to worry about, you know, having to run away from people or potentially triggering someone who's not supposed to be. You're in the fire, please don't do that. That's not a water arrow. Alright. Cheese, burrick meat, plate. Yeah, 412. So far... I'll come back to this. I have no lockpicks. I can only rely upon my keys. Of which I do not have one for this door. How interesting. This goes back over. This isn't,
Hey, look over there.
Hello?
You didn't see anything. Stop pretending like you saw things. You didn't. Alright then, so this mission just seems like it's just large for the sake of being large. When the loot count is so low in such a large building, I don't know, it just bothers me. It feels like I could actually, like, do something with that without having to break it, but nope. You gotta break it. Maybe I can get somewhere that's not a maze. That would be nice. Somewhere that's not a key hunt, too. That would be also very nice.
Someone move.
So, hello as well to you. Stuck. Okay, there we go. The performance room. Do I have a map? Nope. No map. I should get in the habit of checking the map more. Just at the start, just to see if there is a map. Now that they've actually, like... It's really getting to the point where there are maps for absolutely every mission now. So... That fixes that. I can't read these books anyway. These chairs are overly large. That's not the author's fault. I think that's just the mesh is a little bit off. Oh, okay, hang on.
Hey, who's there?
What?
You oaf! You scared me nearly half to death.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Marin. I didn't know you were staying late tonight.
Okay. Well, how strange.
Huh? I guess it wasn't.
Okay, I don't have time to go get that guy, actually. I need to get this guy out of the way. Nope, nothing over there. Just your friendly neighborhood thief. Again. That is now my catchphrase. Archers walk so much faster than swordsmen. Oop.
Did you see that too?
Nope. Didn't see that. I'll also keep repeating that because, you know, there's not really much to say right now. There's a lot of empty rooms with not a lot of loot. And I'm gonna have to go through every single one without a map for anything. There's no maps. No maps at all. So, I guess I could talk about all the ways this mission is not really up to par, but that seems kind of rude. I don't like to be overly critical, but this could have seriously used a map. So where does this, okay. What does this do? It just goes up. I mean, I know it just goes up, but like, hello. No, you can't see me. See? Everything's fine. You can't see me at all. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, it just seems kind of rude to just go through all the things. This mission isn't really up to, you know, the usual standards of missions up to this point, even. Not to mention the more modern standards. In terms of architecture...
Banker or what?
Yeah, I'd rather the night watch. It's quiet, and I don't have to bow and scrape to the customers. Let me carry your heavy, heavy gold for you, lady fat bottom.
Here, let me take some of that nasty, heavy stuff off your hands, Lieutenant Swink.
Yeah, and see the bosses aren't around to listen to us talking at night either.
Yep. Bosses aren't around, but I am. So anyway, like I was saying, that take this room for example. This room is awfully large for what it does. It's overly large for what it does, and its purpose is to serve as a guard room, but it's like the size of a living room, essentially. So yeah, sometimes it just feels too harsh to really go in depth as to why, you know, this is bad and this is also bad. I mean, this is okay, but it's not great. Hello, lamp. So I don't always like to do that, but in this case, all I'm really getting from this mission is kind of a... I don't have a key for this, do I? Probably not. Lackluster? Yeah, that's probably the word I'm looking for, but even that seems too harsh, you know? Because, hey, at least they tried, and at least they made something that's pretty big, and, you know, that's cool in and of itself. It's a pretty big
Who made that
mission,
noise?
and that makes it cool. Also, this may be the guy I'm looking for. I have a new... Ah, okay, good. Objective complete. Don't know which one. Kidnap him. So if I drop him... Yeah. So every time I pick him up, we're going to be getting that objective complete noise. At least there's that. I can say that. Because there are quite a few missions that have you do that and then don't actually give you any feedback as to whether or not you've gotten the person, which can be frustrating, obviously. Okay, well that's a design flaw, just so you know. That's also a design flaw, just so you know. Not in the mission, just in the I don't want to do that sense. Anyway, like I was saying, this architecture's okay. There's nothing particularly spectacular about it, but it is a very large mission, so there's that. It's got that going for it, which is pretty cool. The only problem that I can really see is that this place just is empty again in the wrong way. You know, Washout Central... Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck? Like Washout Central, I said, was also empty, but it's different. Like, I feel like Raid on Washout Central should feel lonely and empty, and it kind of does, but it kind of also doesn't. Just because there's so many guards there, it doesn't feel empty in the right way. It feels empty in the sense that it's just not, you know, there's a lot of empty rooms, which is pretty much how this feels too. I don't know why that happened. That's interesting. So hang on. If I can't put him down, it'll just keep doing that. Okay. That's kind of cool. It's funny. Alright then. See, there's just a lot of empty rooms. When the loot goal is so low, you know that there's just... If it's a huge mission, you're going to be wandering through a lot of it with nothing to do, essentially. The fact that you have no lockpicks is also kind of a pretty big downside for a mission this size. So I guess we're in a bank, which kind of confused me because I thought we were in somebody's mansion. And, well, we're getting all the bank conversations. So, I guess we're in a bank. I had no idea, actually. I read the README. It didn't seem like we were infiltrating his workplace or a bank, just kind of exit from the mansion. So I guess I'll just do that. I could, you know, like I said, I could go through every single room, but at this point, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like more of the same thing. And, you know, there are some missions that I actually do want to explore the whole thing. But this is definitely not one of them, and that's kind of the same with Raid on Washout Central was. It's cool, it's got some cool architecture bits, it's pretty. This one doesn't really have, like, exceptionally pretty or, you know, groundbreakingly pretty, essentially, because, you know, Washout Central had the rain coming down, which was new at the time, which made it cool. This one is just kind of a standard breaking and entering, steal something. In this case, it's a person. And also the fact that I can't just exit the mansion at any place is kind of annoying. Is there... Just as exit from the... Hang on. Find any evidence linking to Mr. Lazarus. What do they mean by that? Because I just realized that that was there and that I hadn't done it. I just went around in complete circle too, which is also kind of the unfortunate part of making such a huge mission. Find any evidence linking to the dude I'm trying to do something with. Evidence. Evidence to what, though? Presumably I'm looking for some type of scroll. I have no way of actually knowing that. There's nothing in there. I already looked. I went down here. This is just the entrance. Yeah, I went down in there. Find any evidence linking to. I mean, to be fair, English is not this person's first language. They said it in the README. Nothing over here, is there? I just don't know what it is. I'm like... That's kind of the unfortunate part of not writing in your first language is sometimes things like that will happen, but I don't know. Could just set off the cameras. Might solve a few problems. Oh, here's a water arrow. Hello. No, you can't see me. I don't exist. Okay. Cool.
I'll never be able to cross through here with all those security machines active.
Okay.
Looks like it's nothing.
Well, I have one water arrow, and it's quite noisy in there, so I'm just going to go elsewhere then, I guess. Because I can't steal... Nope, can't steal the paintings. Kind of makes me sad. I wish more people would let you steal paintings. Okay, so I went through most of the room. I've been in almost every room now. I need to find evidence linking Mr. Lazarus, who I am kidnapping, to something, I would imagine. That's... You know, it would be funny if the camera could spot me from here, but it would also be really kind of annoying. Nothing in here. I guess it's just a swimming pool or something. This is why I'm confused. It looks like a mansion, but it's way too big. So does that mean that it's a bank? What is this? Why is this actually a thing right now? Well, whatever. What is this? Am I looking for stuff that links him to...
I tell thee, for thou art my friend, that I wish the children of Karis were more, mild-seeming.
Thou'rt not the first to be afeard of them, though their visage is wrought to strike terror into the enemies of Karas. Or those who might consider becoming enemies.
Well, and it might, for it near strikes terror into mine own heart.
Thinkest thou thine own soft body of leaky flesh and wheezing gases is glorious to the eyes of the builder? Nay, 'tis thy soul that is the only thing of any worth. So 'tis with the children of Karas, for they are the blessed and immortal heirs of the builder, while I and thou are but the paltry tools that forged them.
As thou sayest.
Alright then. Love those conversations. Oh, hi.
What a fool. Karas would be well rid of that one.
I agree. However, I'm going to go around, because that's...
For Karas' sake, is there someone there?
Thanks. Lamp.
Oh!
Okay, so I'm supposed to find evidence linking Mr. Lazarius to who knows what, because the thought was incomplete on the objective. Which is fine. I don't really have a huge problem with that. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing, essentially.
Nothing there.
The fact that I only have one water arrow is really annoying, because it's kind of one of those moments where I'm just like, just either give me none, or give me plenty, because it's annoying.
Hello?
Okay. Because I'm gonna have to assume that I need to use that one arrow, essentially. And I'll have no idea where I'm expected to use it. So I'll probably just save it and never use it, because I only have one. That's kind of the unfortunate part of only giving people one of something. It's like, oh, I need to use this somewhere really specific, I imagine. It doesn't really help that this has so far been a key hunt, and usually when you're in a key hunt, it's very much a use this in the specific place and only the specific place or you're gonna screw yourself. So, there's that. He's upstairs, I think. Okay, more empty rooms full of machinery. Okay, again, this would be a really good time to put in, you know, extra loot just for fun. I don't know, that's kind of what I like doing. I like collecting things. So Thief kind of appeals to my need to collect all of the things. Just sometimes. So, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Don't know what to say because it's kind of not much to talk about. I mean, there's machinery. There's lots of empty rooms. This is the other thing that's kind of annoying about it. Okay. Okay, I thought for a second I was going to be trapped on this side. Just for that brief moment when I passed through easily and then got stuck here and I was like, oh god, no. Because I don't remember when I last quick saved. Alright then. Now would be a good time to quick save. Okay, so I don't have a key to this then. Oh, I do. I must have the master key. I have the master's key. But is it the master key? Oh, here's the evidence. What is the evidence? Oh, okay. Whatever. Fine. I'll accept that, I suppose. Okay. Am I, like, trying to make him disappear completely? Because I think that's kind of impossible. But, alright then. How do I leave? Not that way, that's for sure. There's a bot there. Anyway, the thing about that that's so weird is it's just like, oh, the Downwinders are gonna get me. Okay. Aren't I from the Downwinders kidnapping you right now? Because I honestly can't see any reason why Garrett would kidnap this dude. Because the Downwinders are after him. We're not friends or anything, and unless somebody's paying me, which it didn't specifically mention, I don't really see a reason why I would. In terms of everything else, though, it's just... I don't know, I mean, it's your story. You can You can tell it however you want, but that doesn't mean it makes any sense. Alright, so I need to not be here. Well, I do need to go that way, actually. Now I gotta wait for the camera. Okay. Where did I leave this body? I left it over here down the stairs? Hopefully just exiting will do this. See, I thought I had all my objectives complete before. I didn't. Okay, objective complete, blah 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 blah. No objective complete noise. Alright, so this doesn't count as exiting from... Okay, hang on. Now I'm not confused. Mansion. This is a mansion, not a bank. Why are there people working here late on presumably banking things? Because... I have no idea. Servants don't work late like that. They're technically always on the clock. So I don't know. Maybe it's just nitpicking again, but whatever. Okay, so there is a total of 815 loot in this whole gigantic mansion, and despite wandering through probably about 3/4 of it, I got 100 less? No, that's not even. That's like 6. I can't count today. 45 missing. Thank you. Found all the secrets. The secret was that thing in the backyard then, I think. So yeah, this place way too huge without a map. It's just one of those pet peeves I have, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna wander through this whole place without a care in the world. Oh, wait, I can't go anywhere because I don't have a specific key for it. Oh, let me try and navigate my way back to that door once I finally found the key. In this guy's defense, though, the keys were fairly close to the doors that they opened, so I'll give him that. Except for the master key, which opened that one door to the evidence, which, if you ended up going there first for any reason, you would have been kind of annoyed, probably. That's kind of the thing about key hunts, is unless you're doing it in a small area, you're more likely to frustrate your players than anything. It's why most people don't do that. So with that in mind, on to the review, if there is one. Okay, so... The Gambling Man review by Frobber. Basically, I can actually see the full review this time, although the site is still a little bit messed up. I think this has to do with my DNS settings, and just the fact that I'm going through Time Warner now, and it kind of messed it up, so I think I'm going to have to fiddle with that before I can actually view the site as it's meant to be. I don't think it's actually down, so that's kind of weird, and I hate that, but whatever. So, anyway, to start with, we have the pros, cons, and I'll get to the bottom line. The pros! So far summed up, a workable mission that can be played without any major bugs or problems. Cons, nothing terribly new or compelling here. Only one difficulty level. The score it got was 1 silver hammer, which is a 6 out of 10. So, all in all, it's a pretty standard mission. It's just kind of one of those things where you've got a really large area, and you've got some some various areas that could use some improvement. So in terms of things broken down a bit, Frobber gave this a score based on visuals, atmosphere, story, and gameplay. So, the visuals, 6.5, it's okay, it's not great, it's not terrible, it just is. Atmosphere, 5.5, it's okay, it's not great. He says, too laid back, perhaps. I can see that. It seems a bit lackadaisical. Story, 5.5. Few threads in the prologue, but the place itself hardly backs it up. Part of my confusion about it being a bank, because it uses all the bank conversations. It's got talks about customers. It's got talks about... I mean, look at that front lobby. It looks like a bank. This is a mansion? What's going on here? That's what confused me. But anyway. Gameplay, 6.5 only if you like lots of wandering around and exploration. For me, I kind of like exploring, it's kind of why I liked Minecraft, but I also like varied terrain. Like, an exploratory mission is not this kind of mission for me, because there's a lot of the same thing. It's a lot of the same thing I've seen in other missions. It's not really something I want to wander through. That's kind of the same thing with, Raid on Washout Central. Last time I said, it's something I only really want to play it once because I don't like wandering around that much. And it's what I'm saying, it's like, it doesn't, it's not about like the prettiness factor, it's like about the novelty of it in terms of exploration. So it's kind of like, well, you know, Raid's got a nice city and it's a pretty realistic city, but there's not much to actually do in it in terms of that. I guess it's not that I guess it's that the things I look for in exploration are not the things that are contained within these two missions, is what I'm saying. Anyway, Frobber said, bottom line, a playable mission worth a shot. I'd agree on that. I mean, I play all the missions, so whatever, but in terms of that, it's not a spectacular mission. It's one that's probably going to be easily forgotten, which is not a good thing, but it's not a bad thing. It just kind of is. I haven't really seen it brought up a whole bunch in any of the threads about must-plays. It really is just kind of a standard mission. The fact that the story just doesn't really exist there and is kind of... I mean, it's hard to say, but these days, if you want someone to help out with your story, it's really easy to do. There's all kinds of people on the forums who are willing to proofread and help out with your not quite as good a grasp on English. Back then, it seemed like there were still a lot of people who were willing to do that, but it also seems like most of the authors weren't necessarily willing to sort of leak the story to anybody early. I guess kind of to, actually keep suspense and other things like that. So yeah, I guess the story is more brought out in this review, is just saying something about Mr. Lazarius falling behind on some debts, but I never felt much of a connection to why I would want to raid this place other than working under a contract with the Downwinders, who I thought were Garrett's rivals. Which is completely what I was saying. It doesn't make sense from a story perspective. Am I playing as Garrett? Am I playing as a Downwinder? If I'm playing as a Downwinder, why do I need evidence? What is going on here? Why am I kidnapping this man, if not to give him to the Downwinders? I don't know. Anyway, that's about it. That's the mission, and I will see you guys next time.